Hey everyone, it's Rishika again. Welcome to Rishika Uncut episode 2. So I've gotten some requests on doing my eyebrows, which I'm a little bit uncomfortable about, but I'm also gonna kind of own. So I don't really have any, as you might be able to see. And that's because of a few things. Pretty much since I've been on a ventilator for a week, these have just been getting more sparse, and I think it also has to do with some IBD alopecia, because of my Crohn's colitis. So yeah, I will show you how I fill in my eyebrows after I tell you a couple things. So just to let you know, my skin prep has been done. It's the same every day. But if you missed my first video, I essentially take some, I like, what's the word? I drench a cotton round with like some exfoliating texture on it with my Garnier Hydrating, the pink one, micellar water. Then I rub it all over my face. And then I take a liquid exfoliant, which I use Paula's Choice. I basically just pour a tiny bit, like little pea size, into the center of my hand. I go like this, and then I rub it all around and stuff. Then after that, I take some eye cream and I go like this and around the eyes. And I also, so I do that, and then I finish off with my e.l.f. Holy Hydration cream, which is my holy grail. Like, that's never gonna change. I feel like the hydration it gives me is so good, and it's my first recommendation to anyone. Like, if you're trying to balance your skin, I highly recommend the micellar water to wash your face and just get all like whatever off, and then go in with the e.l.f. Holy Hydration in like this, like nice dollops, and then rub it in and take whatever's left down your neck. Yeah, so that's kind of my routine. I haven't changed it in a long time. But if you're trying to balance your skin, I highly recommend just doing those 2 steps, because I feel like sometimes we try to just keep adding different aspects to our skincare that we don't really need. And, but I feel like the micellar water will also hydrate you. So you want to put the cream on while the micellar water is still on and very like still wet, so that it can kind of soak in with your moisturizer. So yeah, that's kind of what I have on my face right now, including the liquid exfoliant and the the eye cream. Those are 2 new things that I have sort of introduced to my routine. So let me move a little bit closer. yeah, so in terms of my brows, my holy grail is the Anastasia Brow Wiz. But there's a lot of brow pens you can get from the drugstore that don't cost as much. This is just like tried and true, and the shade is perfect and all of that good stuff. So there's a spoolie on one side. You can see spoolie. I dropped that thing again. Rishika Uncut. And then there's the actual pen on the other side. So what I basically do is I give myself a little, well, it depends. Is there still cream on my eyebrow area? If the answer is yes, what I do is I take some of my Huda Beauty powder, or even, actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use my Rimmel Stay Matte powder, because this used to be what I used to do all the time. So what I do is I take some of my Rimmel Stay Matte powder and kind of just get a liberal amount on there, and I just run it through my brows, like my brow area, kind of just to mattify that area. So any oils or moisturizers or whatever don't disturb my eyebrow pencil. And it goes on way more smooth. So it might be hard to see, but let me try to angle this up so that I can be in a visible distance. So what I do is, first I brush through my brows, which I know is very sparse. But you know, like I came here today thinking, you know, like there's no shame in my eyebrows. Like I feel more confident when I have brows on. However, it's not my fault that I don't have them. It's just because I'm sick and that happens. But yeah. So basically what I do, I take from like the bottom, I draw kind of a line, and then I feather up a little bit. And don't worry, it's all going to be blended out. And if something gets out of what you want, you can always erase it with a spoolie. So I take this line. So like you also feel your brow bone, right? But I take this line so that if I'm looking straight, this goes straight through my pupil. That's where I'm gonna end the brow. Then I'm gonna bring it down and I'm gonna connect the bottom to that. So then I fill in my brows. I really just color it in. Sorry, I turned the ring light down so that you could see more of what I see, as opposed to having this bright light in front of me and you guys are seeing something different. Because I feel like that's what happened in my last video. It was like in my last video, I feel like my eyeshadow looked really muddy, but in person it looked really nice. So yeah, I don't like when there's like a harsh edge. So I kind of just, sorry, I know this is a boring part of it, but for me, this is like a very necessary thing. And and I wanted to be open about it and not be kind of secretive that I like literally do not have eyebrows. Even though my best friends say I do, because there is a little bit left, but anyway, so this one is a little more complicated, but also in some ways easier because there is nothing here. Like if you look really close up, like even this is like very, very sparse. So it gives me a little more liberty to kind of like do what I want to it. So I do the same thing, but wherever I see the hair, I try to kind of complement it. Same thing here. I'm gonna go to wherever the end of my pupil is. And the thing about brows is that you can very much like customize. It's really what kind of shape you like on yourself. So what I do is I kind of go this way and then I go this way so that it's like a little more even. But you'll see I make mistakes and I erase them, and then right now I don't have the usual light that I'm used to with doing my eyebrows. So it's a little harder for me to see. And like, yes, they should be relatively even, but at the same time, like no real eyebrow is even. So yeah, see, this one ended up super thick. I think because I was talking through it. I'm sorry, guys. But what I'm gonna do is just take the spoolie very gently, make it a little thinner, make this a little less harsh, but still defined, you know? Because eyebrows shape your face. And, okay, there's a big difference here. Yeah, eyebrows shape your face, so you want them to be pretty close to each other. I think the problem here is the top. So you see how I have like a little more of an arch here? I do not on this side. And I'm just gonna add that little arch. It can be very, very slight, but it's there. Right? Okay. Yeah, they're not even, but please forgive me. They're usually not as uneven as what you're seeing right now. I don't think I have the right light right now. Okay, so they're like relatively even in the tail section. The arch is going right here through the pupil right here. And maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to define the arch by making this a little softer. Did that help at all? I don't know. Nah. Okay, well, that's as good as they're gonna get right now. Okay, so I make sure that all the sparse areas are filled in. And probably in future videos I'll skip this step, and hopefully I have them, because also, no, actually, yeah, I'll probably skip this step so that I can do them in the proper light. But this is basically how I do my eyebrows. Then I brush through them so they become one. And if I see any more sparse areas, I get through those. By the way, guys, please subscribe and like this video if you do. I mean, I don't want to force anyone. If you don't like this video, then please, like, no pressure. Okay, so then I take my 24-hour brow setter by Benefit. So there's a couple sides to this, and it's really your preference. But what I like to do is I take the flat side and I disperse it throughout my brow. Then I take the curvy side and I brush through my brows very gently. And then I do the same thing for the other side. I take it very gently. I think I'm using that wrong. Okay, so I take it very gently. And then I just brush through. And yeah, that's how I get my brows. I've been getting better at them. And like I said, I mean, I don't want to make excuses, but like the light does make a difference. So I had this little handy light mirror. So I don't have to like guess through the viewfinder or this small mirror in front of me. Okay, so can never go without color corrector. So we absolutely are starting with that again while the eyebrows set down and dry and all that kind of stuff. So again, this is the Lip Tinted color corrector in Perk. I am gonna move my glasses. As I mentioned before, I'm not allowed to wear contacts anymore, so this also is harder for me for like seeing what you're seeing. But yeah, so it's like this peachy kind of color, and that's what, like, for lighter skin tones, this is the color that you want, because but for deeper skin tones, there's more orangey correctors and all that jazz, so it keeps going. But Lip Tinted is a great brand. Being an Indian American, I love supporting Indian brands, and this consistency is so creamy upon application, upon blending, everything. It's just a really creamy formula. I don't necessarily need it to set down like I did in the last video, but I'm gonna do that again today just because I don't want to risk the concealer kind of blending in with the corrector. So if it's all set down, then we're good. Yeah. So this is something that I don't think will change in my videos. Maybe if I get more darker spots or more blue, then it might change where I apply it, but generally I'm going to apply it the same way in the same places. So you might see my giant scar on my nose, you might not. Right here. I got into a biking accident when I was in, I don't know, middle school or elementary. No, it was right before middle school. I was going into elementary school. And I fell off my bike. I flew off my bike and I hit the curb pretty bad. Right over here. It was pretty bad. They offered me plastic surgery and they said if I wanted to, I could change the shape of my nose. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Because insurance was covering it anyway. But even though I used to get made fun of a lot for my nose, I'm still like, I don't really want to do that because my nose is my nose. And you know what? Over time, I've learned to love it. Like, it's not my favorite attribute, actually, before this whole ventilator and Crohn's colitis situation. My eyebrows are my favorite attribute of mine. So that's why it kind of hurts sometimes looking in the mirror and not seeing them. But it's okay. Bodies change over time. Circumstances change over time. If anyone knows that, it's me. Oh yeah, I forgot. I put it away already, but I forgot this little area right there. I explained last time, and I have like this dent in my forehead. Not quite sure why, but it's there, so I like to cover it up. Yeah, and again, the makeup process is like, it's for me. I don't like, I mean, my closest, pretty much everybody that's close to me in life has seen me with and without makeup in different circumstances, and makeup has been a thing for me for many years now, but I think it just became more of an art therapy for me. And like I mentioned in my last video, like the art therapy thing is a huge aspect for me. Like when I would watch makeup videos prior to me really getting into makeup, I would care more about the eye makeup and like the intricacies of all the eye makeup and the artistry behind that. And whenever someone would do their base, I would be a little bored. But now I realize that the base takes a lot of artistry too. And it's actually probably more interesting at this moment for me. And blend this out completely. So yeah, I mean, trends evolve and people evolve, so yeah. Okay, so I wanted to try the new Fenty foundation. Sorry, I'm like disappearing. I wanted to try the new Fenty foundation, but right now, oh, here it is. So I'm not sure if this is the right shade for me, because, well, for a few reasons, but let me just kind of swatch it on the back of my hand and then see if it's too light, because I want something that's like close to my complexion. You know, it might not be that bad. Let's see. I'm gonna compare it with this e.l.f. because it's a little bit, light, but not too light. You can see on Rishika Uncut hashtag. So if you can see on the back of my hand, the runnier one is the Fenty and the more solid one is the e.l.f. I don't know, I feel like I might find another foundation to like mix this in with and try it off camera, and then maybe next time I'll use it on camera. I don't really know. I think the thing that made me feel like it was light was because I started doing like color matches on Ulta, and they're actually really like they're really accurate. So yeah, I just yeah, this is, because they're really accurate, I kind of trust that. But anyway, we can use my new Tower 28 concealer today to switch things up a little bit. Not going the ColourPop route. Also, let me switch my Natasha Denona palette. This is the I Need Nude, which I used last time, and I think this time I want to use the Golden palette. Okay, so yeah, okay. I feel good about this. All right, so I'm gonna use the same e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation that I've been wowed by. And like literally I've been wowed by it. And I don't know if you can tell by looking at my skin, but I like foundation is kind of a choice. But because, all right, well, that was not a choice. Can't use that anymore. It's okay. We will pivot. I'll use the other side of the e.l.f. brush. Yeah, so as I was mentioning in my previous video, I don't like to put foundation up on my forehead. And the reason for that is because, not only because I don't think I need it there, but because I want to limit the amount of products that I don't really need, especially like when it comes to my forehead. Because as you'll see, like with my concealer, now I'm not sure about this Tower 28 concealer yet, because I have a couple of these and I'm not sure if this is the one I think it is. But usually it evens out my skin tone, the concealer I mean. Also, in terms of this foundation, I feel like it's very skin-like, and you can already kind of tell that it's a perfect match for my face. But you know, since I forgot to put this Charlotte Tilbury Wand Unreal Skin Foundation, I'm gonna put it on top. Same way I would underneath. But yeah, so that also adds a tiny bit of coverage. Not too much, but makes me a little glowier. But yeah, the things I like about this e.l.f. foundation is how skin-like it is. That's why I love the Beautiful Skin foundation from Charlotte Tilbury too. But this foundation is not only skin-like, the texture is creamy yet it's very emollient, and I think that yeah, it's just like it's a nice experience putting on my face. You know, I don't know how to explain that, but all right, so I have this .0 I3. No, that looks like a E. IE. That's the color of the that's the color of this serum concealer. Let's see how this goes before I put it on my forehead. Oh, okay, it's a good match. I'm not gonna put as much as I probably do with the ColourPop. I mean, I generally don't really need that much. I mostly just, I don't know if I could say I'm doing it for fun, but I don't know. I think that this might be a really good color on me. Okay, I'm happy. So I'm gonna take the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy A506 to blend that out. And you know what? Let me just throw some on my eyes too, because feels really nice already, like a little bit cooling in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but feels nice. So yeah, I'm gonna start with my my eyelid, blend it up into towards my brow, just to cancel all of that area out. Then I'm doing the same thing I did last time. Start patting it in. Sorry, so another disease I have is Sjogren's, and right now I have two. I'm not an addict. Well, maybe I have two xylitol things like stuck to my molars, and so if you hear that weird sound, it's probably that. This is actually a very good color for me from what I'm seeing. What do you think, guys? Yeah, so as I told you in the last video, you're probably always gonna see me in a black shirt. I mean, unless I'm getting ready for something and you're doing like a get ready with me. But even then, usually I get ready in the black shirt and then I change last second into a kind of really like that. And I like the combination too. What do you guys think? All right, let's put it down the center of the face. I might add a little bit more in certain areas. Like here, where this dip is. I don't think it's really that necessary, but here we are. Yeah, so I have Sjogren's, and that means I have really, really dry eyes and a really, really dry mouth. So I pretty much, like, if there's anything even a little bit dry, I can't eat bread, or like if you're Indian, I can't eat dhokla, no matter how much chutney you put on it, because I will choke. I will literally choke. And I just can't swallow it because I have literally no saliva in my mouth. So these xylitol things that attach to my teeth kind of generate a little bit of saliva in my mouth, which is very nice. It feels very nice for sure. I'm also on medication for that too. And I know last video I noticed I kind of glossed over the fact that I made into a joke that I have OCD. It sort of bugs me when people do that, because like there are people that actually are on medication for OCD, me being one of them. I have a very severe form of OCD, and that's why my packaging really matters. And not just the packaging, but like everything. Like it really matters to me, because sorry, I'm just checking what you're seeing. Yeah, so yeah, it's not just the packaging, it's just everything. I have to have everything just in its place, and I mean, if you looked at my workstation right now, you might not think that, but it kind of manifests in different ways, and sometimes talking about it makes me more anxious about it. So I'll stop there. So I think I grabbed one of the Rhode blushes, but I don't know where it went. Oh, it's here. So I have it in Sleepy Girl. Let's try it on. I've heard nothing but good things about this blush, and that it goes really well over powder too, but I'm gonna try it underneath. All right, so I'm gonna just roll it up a little bit. I think I'm gonna apply it directly to the face. I don't know. Yeah, face. We'll see if we need more. But I'm gonna blend that out with the BK Beauty Nikki LaRose N17. Oh, it's a really nice blend. I might have to add some more on top of the powder because it's shearing out quite a bit. I mean, it's pigmented, but it's definitely also shearing out. Probably to the point of I would call perfection. Like I would really I like this a lot actually. I think I like it this much, but like I knew it was a good product just based on all the reviews and hype around it. But it really doesn't require much. It's quite beautiful. Can you see? Okay. Let's see. I want to try this cream contour again because I think last time I didn't really do it right. From your view, I think from my view, I have a lot of like peach fuzz here, sorry about that. From my view, it looked like it was all blended out, but I don't think it was because in the viewfinder, is that what it's called? Yeah, I think so. Because in that, oh, and by the way, this is the Victoria Beckham Beauty Contour Stylus in Marble. Sorry, I'm umming a lot, guys. I'm just kind of trying to make sure. So with contours and those types of products, you kind of want to blend up. So I'm kind of circling around and blending it up, but also trying to make sure that there's none left behind. I think I'm gonna do, how does that look? I think I'm gonna do a little bit more, but I've just seen people do this, so I don't even know if I'm doing it right, to be honest. Let's find out. I think I just wanted a little bit more while still making sure it's blended properly. And that in my camera, it looks blended too. Because I don't want a stark line that anyone in person nor in video can see, because then it's not blended. How's this look? I like it. Okay, cool. Let's see. So next I'm gonna do powder, and I'm gonna keep this Rhode blush on the side because we might revisit that. I feel like it's the perfect, like literally the perfect tone for me. Since I usually go for mauve tones, and it's a mauve tone. Sleepy girl. Alright, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of flip the sponge over, and before I apply powder, I'm just gonna run this along to avoid creasing, not to remove product, even though that might have what it's done, but okay. So with powder, I think you saw me do this a lot in my last video, but this is what the powder puff looks like. So I take my hand and I kind of just disperse it. I disperse the powder all over the powder puff so that the entire powder puff is like, if you stamp it here, the entire powder puff is going to give you powder payoff. And also so that it's not like just caked up in one spot. It's how you avoid cakiness, and I mean, it's one of the ways you avoid cakiness. The other way is, of course, like using the sponge to remove any potential creasing or whatever. And usually I go for my under eyes first, and kind of my cheek area. And I'm not really into baking or anything, so I'm gonna push in as much as I can with what I have on my puff. And I'm taking the powder from my puff from this cap. So as the cap kind of loses its powder, obviously I need to put more, but you like, sometimes you kind of want to get the powder on the side, because sometimes it bunches up in like the twisty parts, you know, like where you twist the cap. A lot of the time powder gets stuck there. Now, if I was taking a brush and I didn't have any powder in this, I'd probably go straight in. So this has like a mesh kind of cover so that if it falls, it doesn't, like, everything's not lost. But it's also really good for, like, if you want to dip your brush in there, or if you want to dip your if you want to dip your brush in there, or even your sponge. What I was gonna say before was that this powder is very finely milled. It's beautiful pretty much for all skin types, and I would recommend it for pretty much all skin types. I think for more mature and maybe dry girlies or not girlies, like, I think I think yeah, I think that there's the Givenchy Prism Leave Prep Powder. There's the, and then there's the One Size Beauty Powder, which I would highly recommend for anyone oily to set your makeup with, because it's not gonna budge from that. And like, actually One Size Beauty has a lot of oil friendly products in their line. Like, I think they just came out with a primer that kind of like sucks up all the oil in your skin. I'm sorry, I'm a little thrown off right now. Anyway, so I think we'll retire this powder for the moment. Actually, I'm just gonna go around my eyes very lightly and gently. Just one more time, because it's really important for that area to be set. And throughout the day, like, this powder is gonna be your best friend. And if you're someone that needs to touch up, that's totally okay. Just take some in a little compact and take whatever tool you use. Oops. And yeah. Okay. I think because I was trying a lot of things at once, I got caught off guard a little bit, but I think we're looking good. And once the setting spray and everything's on, it's gonna look really nice and melted in. And so my thing about the blush, I think this is an amount of pigment that I would wear. And I think in terms of the contour, I think it's doing its job. So I don't think there's reason for any powder blush or any more of the Rhode blush, and or even powder contour. I think we're good. Yeah. Okay. On to the eyes. So I have no look plan. I'm kind of just rolling with it. And I have not used this palette yet. So you're witnessing the first time I'm using this beautiful palette. I have opened it. That I have done. Oh, by the way, well, I'll tell you. Okay, so by the way, with setting spray, we're talking about One Size. Their setting spray is phenomenal, especially if you're oily. But if you're trying to get through a long event that might result in tears or whatever the case is, sweat, not gonna budge with a One Size setting spray. And actually, if you put this underneath that setting spray, so you first spray this everywhere, let it dry, and then so that everything kind of melts into your skin, because the One Size is more like hairspray for your face. And because of that, you kind of need something to kind of like mesh everything together. Why does that keep dropping? I don't know. I'm gonna ignore it though. Okay, so look how beautiful this is. This is the Golden palette by Natasha Denona. So generally, I mean, these have a lot of the kind of tones that I would go for. I think only recently I've become more of a cool-toned girly and a little less scared of cool tones, as you saw from my last video. Yeah, so this will be my first time using this, and I'm really excited. So let's start with, I'm trying to see the difference between Teak and Aria. I think Aria is a little more pinky. So let's start with Aria. Like if you see it from like this angle, I think it's a little more pinky. All right, so I'm just gonna put it all over my lid, focusing on the crease, but also bringing it down. I want this to be the background of whatever look I do. I like having like some pigment, even if I add shimmer to the look. I just like having that pigment there. Yeah. Same thing on the other eye. So windshield wiper motions, but also swirly motions for like, so the windshield wiper motions are for the crease, and the swirly motions are for below the crease. I'm just trying to disperse the product. Okay. Again, sorry I keep looking like on the other side of the mirror, but I mean not mirror, so I'm going to do the same thing on the, I meant the camera. I'm gonna do the same thing on the lower lash line using this Nikki LaRose BK Beauty N12, which is so nice. I mean, if you follow me or watch my last video, you know how much I love this brush. It just hugs your lower lash line so well. And yeah, it just like, it's perfect for the lower lash line. Whatever color, whatever you're using, it's gonna look good with this brush. So as you know, I'm using a Sigma switch down here. It's on my countertop so that I could just quickly run the brush through it and use the same brush for a different color. I think then I'm gonna deepen up a little bit on the outside with that color I was debating between. I think it will deepen it up a little bit. So I'm trying to keep this on the outer third. Not full blown, let's define the crease or anything, but similar technique to that. But I'll be doing that with a different shade. I'm gonna do the same thing. Run that under, but not all the way. Yeah, it's good. I thought that like the golden palette would be pretty like flat in the sense that not that many options or whatever the case is, but there's actually quite a few options here, which I like. All right, next we will do a little more crease precision. I'm gonna take this very deep, cool toned shade called Log. And do the same thing I did in the previous video. Kind of just wiggle it in this area on the bottom and then bring it in halfway through the crease. See how much depth that gives? I hope you can see. I hope you see the depth and not like all the imperfections. Because here, like I turned down the ring light like quite a bit. Because I want you guys to have some light. And I needed some light. But that's just one of my diatomics, don't mind. But so you wiggle, then bring it in. Wiggle, bring in. This technique is something that's just inspired me lately, which is why I've been doing a lot of it. But there's so many ways to do eyeshadow. You don't have to just do this. I think it's just a quick and easy way to like deepen up your outer corner. Now, with that other brush that I was using, I'm just gonna go over this area that I'm planning on being sparse so that there's no muddiness or anything. I hope you can see that too. Because I don't want like stark lines or anything. I think that's good. I'm gonna take the same shade and put it on my outer third of the lower lash line and kind of connect it with the existing shadow. Don't need much. Actually, it's funny because this look also probably won't have eyeliner. Let's see what happens. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with Fizzy. On my lid. Yeah, I'm just putting it all over. Trying to avoid the intentional placement of the depth there, but other than that, really like this color. It's pretty beautiful. This whole palette is. So with my other finger, I'm doing the exact same thing, just other side. So you don't want to go above the crease. You want to make sure that the pigment stays below the crease, but not too below. You still want it to touch the crease area, just not, so that when you close your eyes, the pigment is there. It's just not interfering with all the work you had done before. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna, might have been a mistake. I'm just gonna run this back where it should be run. And I'm gonna take a clean blending brush to kind of undo going so above the crease just then. All right. Okay. So now I'm gonna take this white-ish shimmery shade, and I'm not really sure if it's gonna turn out to be golden or white. You're here with me experiencing these things, and I'm just gonna pop it in the inner corner of my eye. And maybe because of my lack of light, it's not showing exactly what it looks like, but I have faith that this is a pretty eye look. It's soft and it's pretty. Hope you guys feel the same. All right, I think we can retire this palette for the time being. I will take it and put it back in its packaging. And I don't know if you guys could tell, but I literally came in here to film with no plan. So I'm somewhat proud of myself. I know I could have done a little better with some stuff, but that's okay. So I think I'm just gonna add a little contour here and a little contour here, and then blend it out with this. Okay. Just wanted to define the lip a little bit. Actually, you know, I always forget mascara. Okay, so I'm just gonna do my tried and true. So just so you know, I generally don't keep more than 2 mascaras open at the same time. And that's only if they're really different from each other. Otherwise, I usually only have like my holy grail, the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise. But I'm really loving this e.l.f. Lash and Roll, so I think I'm just gonna keep using it, just like the foundation, because I love it. Okay, less singing, more applying, because I just made a little bit of a mistake on my lid. Why is this piece of hair always there? Now, mascara mistakes oftentimes are inevitable. And by mistakes, I mean like, okay, you get a little glob on your lid, like I just did. But totally fixable. All you have to do is wait for it to completely dry. Then either use a brush or like a buffing brush or like a Q-tip type thing. And buff it off. So with my lower lash lines, the first thing I do is get some product from the tip of the brush onto my lashes, and then I comb through them. How's that? I think it looks good. As I said in my last video, I'm like a one coat girl. When it comes to lashes. And I'll be honest right now, I don't even think I have a coat in my closet. Just reminded me of coats. But I'm about 95% sure that I do not have a coat in my closet that fits me. So after my ventilator situation, I was on a high dose of this one medication that kind of puffed me up a lot. Like I was unrecognizable. And once I was put on real medication, and not that temporary fix, but that was for 8 months. Like, I could not look in the mirror. I would have never done this confidently. And just bad place in my life. But I realized that no matter how I look, did I mess with the little bit. No matter how much, no matter how I looked, I realized I was still very, very loved. And I overcame that. I lost a ton of weight that was not my fault. And I'm almost back to the same size, but I have weird marks on me like these, and loose skin, and I don't know, my husband's been an angel through everything. Like, I don't know how I got so lucky in that regard. Ow. But yeah, he's just an angel and the best, and a drill sergeant. I just felt like kind of putting on more. Not really a reason, just felt like it. But I'll use that same dip on this side. So, I don't necessarily do makeup to make me feel prettier or anything, and I don't think that anybody in my situation needs it. But if it's something that does make you feel more confident in yourself, then more power to you. It's kind of my philosophy. I mean, I don't want to go and say that, like, you know, I used to have a lot of judgmental kind of comments that I made about myself, but then my sister had my nephew, and I think it was good for for all of us that had to be careful of what we say around him, because it was kind of a learning experience for us too. Like, okay, I can't put myself down in front of him, which just became a habit. Like, I never put myself down in front of him, or in front of anyone for that matter. I would think twice before I did anything like that. So I'm really grateful that my sister kind of drilled those things in me, because she's very strict about that, especially like in their first 3 years. But the kid's one smart cookie here. Like, so right now I'm using a lash comb because I feel like a couple of my lashes got a little clumped up with that second coat. Maybe I should have just stopped at this. The first, I was just having too much fun applying. And that's the whole thing. Like, if you're having fun with something, just roll with it. And like, even when I was super, like, I don't know the word, I don't want to use judgmental words, but I was much more, like, my face was like out to here, and I think I just learned to love myself too, because I didn't know when that was going away. And if you saw me at any party in my wheelchair, because I was fully wheelchair bound for 3+ years, and with the Crohn's colitis, that was not easy, especially on my husband. And so we got through it though. I mean, it's not I'm kind of 100% in no F's mode right now because I'm not getting any better in terms of my health. Like, yes, my mobility is getting better, but my health is not in the slightest getting better. And I mean, we have tried everything, like my doctors keep saying I need to be in an institution where they have a team approach, and those institutions have all denied me because my case is too complicated. And you might have heard me say last time that I have a whole host and list of diseases I've been diagnosed with. So yeah, makeup makes me happy and all that, and people I love especially. Just like I said in the last one when I said I was blessed, I feel it every single day, every moment of every day, because people that love me make it a point to show me and remind me that they love me, and I couldn't be more grateful for that. Like, that's, a lot of people don't even have one person, and I have a whole army behind me, and it's just such a beautiful thing. So even when I was going to like parties when I wasn't looking the way I wanted to, and I had to accept the fact that I was like a size large and stuff like that, it was really hard. But once I got there and people started coming up to me and hugging me and being like, oh, like, and talking to me and everything, and I turned into the life of the party every time. My husband says I'm the mayor of everywhere we go, wheelchair or not. I'm the mayor. I become the mayor. And it's because we both live in Washington, D.C. So my background is in government affairs. I went to Johns Hopkins for my master's and worked in some lobby shops, and my husband is a lobbyist. So so yeah, it's just, but still, regardless that he's a lobbyist, I'm still the mayor of everywhere we go. Like, I leave like a 200-person event knowing every single person. That's just me. I have my charms. Okay, let's do lips. Actually, let me spray some of this so I can feel a little relaxed. I don't know what it is about this spray. It like relaxes me. Anyway, okay, so for lips, since we went a little golden, this doesn't necessarily scream warm toned. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like a little, in terms of lips, you know what I can do? Let me try this, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Or, I'm debating whether I should go at Limitless Brown or something a little more mauve-y to make it more cool toned, because like you can make the look more cool toned, but here's what I'm gonna try. So first I'm gonna line my lips. Okay, just had to make sure there was a tip. I don't know, I'm just so grateful, like, that every single person stuck by me with so much love. And so many people were watching my story from afar, but may have checked in with Dividge or my parents. Sorry, my husband's name is Dividge. But yeah, I'm just really grateful. I have the best of the best. Okay, so with this, I wish I had a lip brush with me right now. Do I? Okay, this. Let's see if I can make this work. Does this go? It's kind of more of a reddy lip with gold sparkle. You know, I kind of like it. What do you think? Let's roll with it. Just so you know, again, drop any comments down below, start a conversation, doesn't matter. I love all of it. This is the new L'Oreal I literally cannot see. Lazy Sunday. What is it called though? Okay, I'm gonna have to put these on for a second. Okay, I don't know what it's called, but it's like something long lasting. We'll just go with that. Alright. Now I'll do my favorite cocktail of okay, first get a quick look. It's not done yet. I'm gonna do my favorite cocktail of setting sprays. This one's like literally undetectable, however, it adds a lot of dew, and I've been kind of into that lately. Like, I like when I have like glass skin from the Dior and from that e.l.f. setting spray. It's just really nice. So, it takes like 2 seconds to dry, which is also really nice. And then I do, oh, here we go. Sorry, it was right in front of me, I just didn't know what was happening. I feel like if I was to layer the one size with the, like if I was to layer the one size with both of these setting sprays, I don't know what would happen. I'm sure it'd just lock it in even more. The mist on the e.l.f. setting spray is so fine. I'm addicted to it. Like, sometimes I'm not even sure if it got on my face, but then I see how dewy I am, and then I'm like, alright, yeah, it got on my face. But, yep. I'll move closer so you can kind of see. I highly recommend both of these setting sprays, by the way. Alone, together, however you want to do it. You're going to get the long-lasting effects from the Charlotte Tilbury. But you're going to get like the dewiness and stuff from the e.l.f. And if you don't need to, like, after this makeup look is on, I'm like, okay, I'm good, you know? But, and then I'll touch my face a lot, and it won't budge because, or like if I'm like going somewhere and a bunch of aunties like pinch my face and like being sweet to me, I'm always wondering, like, is makeup coming off? But it doesn't budge. It really, really does not budge. Okay, so now that I'm looking at this lip, I'm okay with it, but why don't we add some gloss on top? I like matte lipsticks when it comes to, when it comes to like, okay, I need this to last forever, you know? But I think I'm a little flexible today because, yeah. Anyway, this is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Brilliant Aloe Veras. Did I get that right? I don't know. Okay, that lightened it up. How's it look? I feel like I'm only a glossy person. Actually, I've been more of a glossy person than recently. I like matte lipsticks because I don't have to like worry about them, you know? Like, they're budge proof, but I just love doing that for you guys. I don't know who's watching, but you got a kiss from me. Okay, so my hair is a mess. So let me just fix that so I can say this is the completed look. I mean, ideally my hair would be straighter, but I don't feel like fixing it. All right, here's the finished look.